We will be live today at noon Eastern time to discuss the Boston Celtics trade deadline. Well, not just Celtics, but the NBA trade deadline. What could Brad Stevens possibly do? We're going to break down not just the Celtics news that's going on by the deadline, but the entire NBA. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. Come join us later today at noon Eastern time. The clock strikes 3 p.m. Eastern time. That is when the NBA trade deadline is officially over. Kaput. Everybody has to stay on their respective teams and fight to the finish line. Last year, Brad Stevens decided to make 2 moves at the buzzer. He traded for Jaden Springer and he traded for Xavier Tillman. Now, Jaden Springer has been traded to the Houston Rockets a day before the NBA trade deadline. We saw this from Shams Charania. I put out a video on it, and that they did send Jaden Springer and a 2030 second-round pick to the Rockets. Basically, to sum this up, it's a salary dump to really work on their luxury tax apron. They are so far well above the luxury tax apron that they are now going to face penalties. So they got rid of Jaden Springer, but what they also did is they freed up another roster spot. Now, roster spot number 14 and 15 are available, so could that mean Stevens is going to make another move? I personally think he'll sign Drew Peterson, the two-way player, to a standard contract by around the playoffs time, kind of what he did with Neemias Queta. But now that other position, could he maybe get rid of Xavier Tillman? Could he maybe just add somebody to fill in that roster spot that Jaden Springer now has left open? Well, that's why we're going live. Let me ask you guys this question here real quick. Do you want Brad Stevens to make a move by the trade deadline today? Go on ahead and like this video for me. You guys about to get hit with the YouTube ad break. Sit through it. I promise we're going to be right back, and I'll tell you my 2 top trade targets last minute the Celtics could go for. Let's talk about Walker Kessler. This is obviously my top target. It should be your top target, because if Brad Stevens has shown me anything, it's that I can trust him. He traded for Porzingis and Holiday in the same offseason. If he can make that work, I feel like if there was one man in the NBA to make Walker Kessler to the Boston Celtics work, it's got to be Brad Stevens. Right now, he's averaging a double-double. He is a key player to the Utah Jazz. This is the only thing that makes me think that, A, it's either going to cost a hell of a lot to get Kessler, or the Utah Jazz probably just aren't open to trading him. Averaging 11 points, 11 boards. This is a guy that would pretty much almost guarantee a back-to-back championship. Obviously, it's a lot on his plate, but think about it. We made it to the championship. We won it without Kristaps Porzingis because of his injuries. Now, if you have a little bit of protection here with Walker Kessler, I think that would definitely help our chances tremendously. And something you guys should know about Kessler here is that he would be a long-term center. You got to think, this guy was recently drafted. Kristaps Porzingis could be entering into the free agent market after 2026, and Al Horford may end up retiring after this season because he is 38 years old. So yes, this would help the Celtics possibly win again this year, but also help them in the future. He's in his final year of his rookie contract, and he's making just shy of $3 million this season, which means the Celtics could afford him. Now they've dumped nearly $15 million with Jaden Springer. So, Allie, what would it cost to get Walker Kessler to be in a Celtics uniform? A hell of a lot of draft picks. A lot more than the Mavericks got for Luka Doncic, and that was 1. I think this would cost a couple of years to get Walker Kessler, but I do think it is worth it. But I'm just one opinion, and a great mass of Celtics fans. Let me know what you guys think. Should Boston trade for Walker Kessler? Type T for trade, type P for pass. This is a move that Brad Stevens would have to make today if he wants it to happen this season. I'll bring up my other trade target here in just a second, but let me tell you guys real quick about our sponsor. That is PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. Over 10 million active users are playing PrizePicks right now. So if you guys want to join, all you have to do is download the app. When you get there, just pick more or less on a player's projected stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. That's right, up to 1,000 times your money. I play PrizePicks especially because the big game is right around the corner. If you guys are looking to make some cash for the big game, you know what I'm talking about, I highly suggest taking the Patrick Mahomes 1 passing yard. That's a free pick given to you by PrizePicks. It's free because You can't tell me that's not going to win. I'm obviously going to take the more on Patty Mahomes. I'm also going to take the more on Mr. Barkley to have more than 115 rushing yards, and same things with Jalen Hurts to have at least half a rushing or receiving tutty. If you guys like my PrizePicks, feel free to copy them or go on ahead and make your own. Just download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. This will give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. That'll give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game. A backup trade target for the Celtics, in my opinion, should be Gershon Yabusele. We've seen him obviously dominate against the Celtics the other night, but this is another big that we have actually seen in the Celtics uniform before, but not the way we're seeing him play right now. 10.5 points per game, almost 6 boards a game, 2 assists, and he's about a 50% shooter from the field. That could definitely be a little bit better, but ignore those stats. Obviously, it's not going to be those dates, but overall, he shot 83% from the field, and he went 2 for 4 from the three-point line, 50% from a free throw line. If there's one thing that Brad Stevens loves, he loves players that dominate against his team. That's exactly what Yabusele did. 21.6 boards against the Boston Celtics just a couple of nights ago. And like I said, he's already played for the Celtics, just not the type of highlights that the Sixers are getting right now. And the Sixers, who just recently dished out Caleb Martin to the Dallas Mavericks, clearly they're looking to make some kind of moves. But would it be to Boston? Well, we'll have to wait and see. What you guys should know about Sele is that he is on an expiring contract. He's set to be a free agent next year. So maybe the 76ers would be a little bit more giving when it comes to making a trade with Boston. He currently makes $2.1 million this season. Keep in mind, because you just shed Jaden Springer's contract, you would be able to afford somebody like Sele. But he was also drafted first round 10 years ago in 2016 by the Celtics. Now, you're not looking for a long-term center here with Yabusele like you would with a Walker Kessler. You're looking for injury insurance for the long haul. KP goes down. Al Horford goes down. He's already been dealing with a left big toe sprain. KP, obviously, is made of glass. This would be an injury insurance type of deal. And it would cost a couple of picks just because the 76ers probably would want the most they can get out of a rival, a Boston Celtics team, but it wouldn't be first. It would be second-round picks. And I do think they should make this trade. So let me know what you guys think. Bring back Yabusele, type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comment section down below, as today is the last day the Celtics or anybody can make a move like this. Look for this icon on YouTube. We will be live later today at noon Eastern time. Come join us. We're talking ball. Even if it revolves around the Celtics or not, we've got you guys covered. Go on ahead, hit that sub button for me, and be sure to tune into our live later today on Celtics Today by Chat Sports.